Hi everyone, welcome to the AMC informational session. Several parents had asked during our earlier AMC sessions about how to register for the AMC 8, AMC 10, 12. So today we are providing this information session for parents and students. Today we have our volunteer, our contest coordinator, Dr. Krishnan Gauri, joining us. He will introduce a speaker. Krishnan, over to you.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Krishnan Gauri. I manage the contest for NorthSouth. Today, we are really privileged and happy to introduce Dr. Sripriya Raman, who has been leading the NorthSouth Mathemagic team. They're doing a lot of interesting new activities that will help our math participants and inspire them to participate in these national and international events. She also conducted, I think, several problem-solving sessions last year. Many of you might have participated. With that, Dr. Raman, it's yours. Take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning for people in the West Coast. I am a parent volunteer for one of the many NSF math teams, and I've been privileged to work with a number of enthusiastic active volunteers over the last year, and we have brought several workshops, webinars, and we are writing question bank. So we're doing a lot of activities behind the scenes. When we had the AMC 8 and AMC 10 live solving sessions last year and beginning of this year, there were several questions about how to register because many of our families were not even aware of these contests. So Krishnan and I thought it might be a good idea to host an informational session so that we all can get familiarized with what these contests are and how to register and how to prepare. As mentioned, I'm a physician. I'm not a math specialist, but I do love math and our family, as a whole. My husband, my kids, we are all very much passionate about educating and inspiring our students to take on math in their lives. So I will try my best to answer any questions you may have in terms of how to prepare and what the resources are, but if there's anything I cannot answer at the end, I will look up and get back to you. So let's start. I would, you can put the questions in the chat, but the interactive question answer session, I would like to keep it at the end of the session so that we are not interrupting the flow. There are only a few slides, so we should be done within the next 15-20 minutes in terms of me telling you about AMCs. So the AMC tests are conducted by the Mathematical Association of America, and their website I have listed here. You can just Google it. It's maa.org. And they are a group of members who are students, professors, STEM enthusiasts. It's a professional society that has memberships and benefits from memberships, but they also are the ones who organize and conduct these contests since 1950. So it has been going on for several decades now. Their mission is to advance the understanding of mathematics and its impact on our world. And if you look into their website, there's so many things to observe. Like I said, they have different kinds of memberships, individual and departmental memberships. They conduct national meetings. So if we have, kids and college students who are really into math, they may be interested in that. They also have publications, periodic publications, magazines, on blog posts and websites for people to interact. They also have outreach activities and programs. I'm not involved with MAA, so that's a disclaimer. So this is all what I know from the outside as a parent. And they also have community building, and you can go to the website and you can get more information on these. But today's focus will be in the competitions offered by MAA. MAA offers multiple, like probably up to 10 competitions in total for middle school, high school, and college level students. So we'll go over that. So for middle schoolers, they conduct AMC 8. So many of us are probably aware of Mathcounts, which can be taken by 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and usually through their school, but individuals can register as well if they're homeschooled. And there are other middle school level competitions too, like Math League, Math Olympiad. So AMC 8 is one of them. They do not have any elementary level competitions, but it starts with AMC 8. Students who are in elementary or below 8th grade can also take AMC 8. So if you are above 8th grade in school, you cannot take AMC 8, but anyone who is at 8th grade or below, so even 2nd and 3rd graders, if they're interested, they can take AMC 8 just to get the feel of it and progress in the following years. And they also host a prestigious college level, undergraduate college level competition called Putnam. I don't know much about it. My kids are still in school, so hopefully I'll learn more as they get older, but I know that it is well known in the college level, and it's a prestigious competition. They host 6 high school level competitions that are somewhat tiered, so I will go over that more in detail. There's AMC 10 for 10th graders and younger students. So if you're at school level, 10th grade, regardless of whether you're accelerated in math or not, if at school you're in 10th grade or below, and there's some age criterion as well, I will go over that at the end, then they are eligible to register and take AMC 10. So even middle schoolers can take AMC 10, or high achieving elementary school students can also attempt to take AMC 10. And AMC 12 is similar. Anyone 12th grade and below can take it. So open to middle and high school students. It would be at a much higher level for elementary level students, I would think. And then for convenience, they offer 2 AMC 10s, 10A and 10B, on 2 different dates within a week's time frame. So these competitions are conducted nationally on the same day. So there's no flexibility. And starting last year, they are offering virtual online competitions as well. I think they're going to continue that this year. And they're encouraging online competitions, but there's also going to be paper competition available if centers are interested. So there's 10A and 10B and 12A and 12B. Every year, AMC 10A and AMC 12A are both conducted on the same date, same time, so you can only choose one or the other. And then 10B and 12B are conducted on the same date, same time, the following week. So technically, someone who is interested and eligible can take one AMC 10 and one AMC 12 exam the same year out of the 4 options in 2 consecutive weeks. And then, so the AMC 8 and AMC 10 and 12 are open to anyone eligible based on their grade level and age criteria. But then they have a few invitational competitions. So the top 2.5% of students, like based on the scores and the percentile, so the top 2.5% will be invited from AMC 10 will be invited to take the AMI, American Invitational Mathematics exam. And the top 5% from AMC 12, either 12A or 12B, will be invited for AMI as well. So AMI is the same exam that will be taken, the questions are just the same, that will be taken by both AMC 10 and AMC 12 top scorers, but the criteria and number of students who are invited to take AMI may be different for AMC 10 versus AMC 12. And the good news is if a student, say an 8th grader, 10th grader, 12th grader for that matter, if a student takes both AMC 10 and 12, so they have to be less than 10th grade or less at school. If they take both AMC 10 and 12, they use the better score to invite for AMY. So you don't have to worry about your scores if you did better in one versus the other. And AMY also, for convenience, they have AMY 1 and AMY 2 on 2 different dates so that you can take one or the other. And from that AMY pool, where the top 2.5% to 5% are invited to take the AMY exam, the topmost, I think this is probably top 1% of all students are invited for USA Junior Math Olympiad, which is JMO, or USA Math Olympiad, which is USAMO. These are prestigious competitions, and students who aspire to be in the STEM fields really look forward to getting into the JMO or AMO list. The JMO, and the difference between JMO and AMO is basically the grade of the students. So AMC 10 students, top scorers, combined with their AMY scores, they have a way of calculating, and then they have the cutoff based on your combo scores. So the 10th graders and below are invited for JMO, and the AMC 12 takers and below are invited for AMO. And from that cream of the cream, the JMO and AMO participants, I think about top 60 or around that number is invited to take part in Math Olympiad program, which is a summer camp every year. And then from that summer camp, top 6 get the privilege to represent USA in the International Math Olympiad team. And we have had several of our NSF and Indian origin students who have been within the top 6 in the last 6-7 years. There's yet to be a female student, from what I know, but we have had a few of our boys make to that team. And our USA IMO team has won the International Math Olympiad several years in a row in the last few years, and they usually come within top 2 or 3 from what I understand. So all of these are done by high school students, 12th graders, and below, before their summer is done. A little bit more in detail about what these competitions actually entail. AMC 8, again, eligibility will be students in grade 8 or below. So even students as young as 8 or 9 years of age can register and take AMC 8. And they have to be less than 14.5 years of age as well. Topics covered are usually those that you would expect a middle schooler to know: algebra, geometry, counting and probability, and number theory, and so forth. It's a multiple choice question-based exam. So there are 25 MCQs, and you have 40 minutes to answer. None of the AMCs allow you to use calculators, so calculators are not allowed. But these are MCQs. And usually AMC 8 used to be offered sometime in November or October, I think, but this time they switched the AMC 8 and AMC 10 dates. So for those of you who have taken it before, you probably already know. AMC 8 is now going to be on January 18th, 2022 at 8 a.m. Eastern Time through January 24 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So there's a window of a week for AMC 8. So schools and organizations that register students to take AMC 8, they can give this exam anytime within that window. But the registration dates are around the corner. Early bird registration is end of October, but the last date for registration is December 10th. So if your school has not been offering AMC 8 and you don't have a local club or local university that can that's offering it that you can participate in, now is the time to talk to them and get things in order and contact MAA and know more in detail on how to get things done. So then we have AMC 10 and AMC 12. As I said before, students in grade 10 or below and less than 17.5 years of age as of the date of the exam can take AMC 10, and 12 and below and 19.5 years of age can take AMC 12. This is also MCQ style exam. There are 25 MCQs, but now these are harder, so the students get 75 minutes. AMC 8 was, I think, 40 minutes. This one you get 75 minutes. For AMC 10, typically the scope is to cover high school level math 10th grade and below, and AMC 12 will be more advanced algebra and geometry and trig. Calculus is not included in these questions, so up to pre-calc level is what's expected, in advanced algebra and geometry, of course. As I mentioned before, the 10A and 12A are both offered on the same date. Unlike AMC 8, you don't have like a week of window. It's throughout the nation, it's offered on the same date, same time. I guess the time you can pick, but the date is the same day. So this year, AMC 10 and 12 have moved up from January or February to November. So just a couple more months to go. 10A and 12A is going to be offered on November 10th, and students can take anywhere from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. that day. All students from the center should take it simultaneously, so it has to be at the same time, but centers can choose different times within that same day. Some may prefer to do it in the morning. Usually schools do it in the morning, but if it is like offered by a college level institution, it's usually in the evening, so students can go after school and take the exam that day. The dates are rigid though, there's no flexibility there. So it's November 10th for 10A and 12A. Registration for 10A and 12A is actually within a few days. I'm sorry that we were not able to get this done before today, but it should be quite easy and straightforward. So if you're interested and school has not registered already, it should be able to be done within a couple of days of time. So early registration is September 24th, and deadline for late registration, the fee is slightly higher per student, and the deadline for that is October 22. So there's still about 3 weeks left for registration. And then for 10B and 12B, it's all about a week later. The exam date for 10B and 12B is November 16th, and anytime during the day. But all students who are registered with the center have to take it simultaneously. So if there are, say, 5 students taking it in the school, all of them have to take it whatever time the school offers. One of them cannot take it on a different time. So there's some rigidity there. And the late registration deadline for 10B and 12B is October 29th. Again, as a reminder, a student can take 2 of these 4 exams that's offered, either 10A and 12B, or 10A and 10B, or 12A and 12B, however you want to combine on these 2 days. This slide just gives an, this is from MAA website as well. This just gives you all the dates and the registration fee together for AMC 8 and 10. And they offer a $10 discount if you take it online, and this is per student. So typically when the schools register, so for my kids' school, we don't pay anything. The school actually pays. And also I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So here are local ARML group, which is another mathematics competition and club. They offer the 10Bs or 12Bs, and the participants don't have to pay, I think. So it may be different for different areas. You will have to talk to your school administrators and local universities to see whether you will have to pay or whether they have funding available to pay for each student. And then the school will have to pay like a bundle price to get the questions, which is just per bundle. So it is $27 or $25 for all of the students that are registered for that school or for that center. And the registration deadlines are again given here. I think these are the early registration deadlines. And I'm going to go away from the presentation for a moment, and let's see if this works. So this is the MAA website. So a lot of the information that I have here on my slides today are taken directly from their website, and you can see all the dates in the different format and registration as well. So if you just go to their website and or just Google MAA AMC calendar, you'll get this in table form so that you can keep on track of things. So how to prepare? It's always a big question. I think just like anything else, once you start, you will find more resources. Your eyes don't see what you don't know in general. So once you start, you will be amazed how you can quickly find people of similar interest, either locally, regionally, nationally, and learn from each other and inspire each other. So local math clubs, NSF chapters, and NSF has many coaching sessions that are geared towards middle schoolers. So for AMC 8 preparation, that should be pretty good, useful as well, not just for Mathcounts, because these are similar contests, but they test different skills. So they're slightly different. And you don't have to be a Mathcounts champion or expert to take these tests, because like I said, these exams test different skills. So there are many students that I know who either did not so well in Mathcounts or didn't even do Mathcounts or any other competitive exams in their early middle school years, but they fall in love with AMCs because of the depth and the breadth of the concepts that they test and the way that the tests are administered. So you don't have to necessarily have accomplished in Mathcounts or any other math competitions to be confident enough to take AMCs, I would say. And we also have like we discussed earlier, our group started offering live solving sessions last year. So as soon as the questions become public, we tried to do the following week a live solving session, and we had great interest from the community. We had like for each event, depending on the event, we had like 400 or 600 registrations, and many showed up, like 300 or so showed up for the live sessions as well and stayed with us, even though we went over time every time. This was the first time we did. And it's usually a group of high school volunteers who are who have done well in math and are competent enough to do these questions and answer questions from the audience, are the ones who will be doing these sessions. We do have our dates finalized for the next one this year. So AMC 10A live solving session will be on November 23rd and 24th in the evening. We'll send out email with full details in a few weeks. And AMC 10B live solving session will be on November 27th and 28th in the evening. The rest of the sessions, we may or may not offer AMC 12. but we plan to offer AMC 8 and AME live solving sessions after these tests are administered next year in 2022. So stay tuned for information regarding that. And in addition to your clubs and coaching, you can also use other textbooks, but previous years AMC 8 and AMC 10 questions are all publicly available. 12 and AME, all of their MA questions are readily available. So MA website also includes a list of resources that you can use. You can purchase previous year's AMC materials. It's pretty cheap. I think like $20 or $25 for several years of questions, as you can see here. You can get it on flash drive. So you can look at these resources and see which one would work best for you, and you can order it together if you're working together with the club. But several of the, there are, if you are into competitive math or interested in math in general, you probably have heard of the Art of Problem Solving community. Art of Problem Solving is a group that offers multiple avenues for students to tend to their interest in math. So, they have online coaching, online classes, they have online games, math games that the students can work against each other, and they conduct workshops, and I heard that they have started offering in-person classes in a few major cities in the last couple of years. So this community is exploding. Students can make an account. It's a social website as well, so students can create an AOPS account, which is free to do so. But then if you want to take the classes, and there's so many resources available on this website that's free once you have an account, but there are certain things that you need to pay, like if you want to buy the books or if you want to join their classes, you will have to pay for those. This is just one such community. There's many other nationally known math camps and math class offering communities that are there. I have nothing to do with any of them. As a disclaimer, I have no direct connections with AOPS, but AOPS really makes it easy. They have all the past question papers that you need, like for example, all the USA contests. They have many other international contests, problems that are all, when they become publicly available, they put them in an organized file. You could also get the solutions. For whatever reason, I'm not able to find the solutions directly by going to the AOPS website, but if I Google AMC 8 problems and solutions, then the AOPS website comes up first. So as you can see here, they have compiled all of the AMC 8 questions. It used to be called something different before 1999, but they have compiled all of the AMC 8 questions, and you have an answer key. So, if you want to just quickly correct your students' answers, and they also have solutions. So if you click on the problem, they have solutions as well. So it's an immensely valuable resource to start with, and sometimes they have videos available as well. And these are good quality and reliable solutions. And you can go toggle from one problem to the other, or if the students are, if they have answered majority of problems, you want to go directly to a specific problem, you may do so. It's really, they made it very user friendly. and I put the links here, and I think Vinay has put my PowerPoint slides in the chat as well under handout, so you can directly click on those links as well. And this is just similarly AMC 10A and 10B, all of the previous year's questions for the last 20 years. I guess they started offering 10A and 10B from 2002. Before that, there was only one AMC 10, and the solutions are there too. Generally, the degree of difficulty has gone up. So, you know, questions 10 years ago may not be as difficult as questions within the last 10 years. So just like AMC 8, you have an answer key if you want to quickly correct the answers. And you have solutions to each problem as well. And multiple solutions in some problems if there are additional ways to solve. And these solutions are, you know, surprisingly so succinct, and it's pretty easy to follow and understand for even a parent like me. And then I think I just had the other link, which is for AMC 12, which is very similar. AMC 12, A and B, and answer key and solutions to each year. So if you're serious about math and, you know, just want to keep on doing, you know, I suggest the students and parents to start filing things so that you know what you have done, what you have reviewed and revised, and mark the problems that you missed, especially the concepts that you missed, rather than silly mistakes. And maybe after several weeks, go back and see if you retained the solution and try to do it on your own. And it's really getting to know your level and getting to know how you're improving over the next several months or years, for that matter, rather than competing against others in the competition. So that's why I like this, because the questions are all available, the solutions are all available, and you can your scores will be available within a few weeks after the tests are given, so you can track your progress on your own and get help where you don't know, and see, you know, whether you retain that information that you have gathered. So that's all I have about AMCs, and I would definitely put a plug in for more volunteers. We do a lot. We have done quite a few things in the last year, and we need more volunteers to keep doing stuff and adding more stuff that are of interest and value to our community. So we are a group of volunteers who are just brought together by love of math. So we have middle schoolers, high schoolers, parents who are computer experts and software experts, parents who are math professors, and then parents like me who just like math, and have been doing it for a few years with the kids. And so we were tasked by Dr. Chituri last year to start an NSF's own question bank database, so that we can use these questions potentially in the future years, not yet, but in the future years for NSF coaching or NSF contests or any outreach activities. So our team is divided into question writers and question reviewers, and for different levels. This is all like elementary and middle school NSF Math B levels, MB1, MB2, MB3 targeted. And in addition to that, our group has a lot of other interests. That's why we started our newsletter, and the second one is coming up. Well, hopefully most of you have seen it last time. And we conducted webinars. Like, for example, we invited Meet the Pros. So we had a session with Dr. Poshan Low, who has been our USA IMO coach, International Math Olympiad coach, for the last several years. He happens to be at CMU here in Pittsburgh. So he was kind enough to come and talk to us. I think he did another webinar too, and we invited a couple of our own NSF students who have been to IMO to interact and have a discussion with Dr. Lowe. We really want to build a math awareness, and we want to build a math community. When we started doing this with our kids when they were little, we just started doing it because, you know, it's the opportunity cost, right? Like if we didn't do it, what else would we have done? Like we probably would have watched TV, or, you know, and nowadays it's probably the phone, you know, and social media. And so we wanted to do something productive with our time in the family. So, you know, we tried different things and we really loved doing math, but we struggled to find others of similar interests as we continue to do that. And we were fortunate enough to find people through competitions and places like NSF. You know, we would drive 4 hours for a competition, you know, multiple times before the pandemic, and we would fly. And these were our vacation days. We were very excited about that. I really hope those things will start again once COVID gets better. So that's what we are here to do as volunteers for NSF as well. So if you have ideas, please join us on how we can do things better and more. And there is a Google form that, you know, I have the link in my slides, but I think when I put it in the chat as well, if you can volunteer 1 to 2 hours of your time per week on most weeks, not all weeks. We all have our other commitments. This is just purely volunteer effort, so we understand that. Or even if you can do only certain months during the year, not the whole year, please sign up. All right, and I think that's all I have. And we can discuss and have more questions now.
Thank you, Sripriya. That was great information that you shared. So I will go ahead with the questions. So mostly, I think the one question that came up several times is, will NSF be hosting the AMC8? So
yeah, I've heard that several times during our live solving sessions as well. So I think my understanding by talking to MAA people several months ago and reading online is that it has to be an educational institution, like who can register. So it has to be a school or a homeschool that is registered, or a university. AOPS actually hosts AMC as well. Let me see if I can find it. AMC AOPS registration. So if you have an AMC AOPS account, I'm pretty sure you can take it through, because it's available online now. You can take it through AOPS, so anybody should be able to do that. But you can also talk to your local institutions if you want to take it to, you know, within the same group. They also have like I had it open in one of my windows. There are many local universities, like I said, like the
right, the MAA website has, if you see, there is a competition locations at the
yes,
there.
yes, yes, yeah. You're right. Yes, that's where I saw it. So you can do a zip code search, or you can look at institutions of higher education, meaning this is universities, you know, and they have a list of universities that are already registered for each contest this year. And they also have a list that registered last year. So you can, if you are from any of these places, and this is online now. So if you live in the same state, you can just reach out to them, and their phone numbers are there, and ask if you can register with them. So because it's online, it's much easier now, and they have for AMC 10, 12, and these competitions are now like international as well. So Canadians or even Indian students can take it. I think there are provisions for that. And even if you're not within the US on that particular day of competition, you can still take it. So there are, like if you're traveling but you still want to take it, you know, because it's online, it becomes much flexible and easy. Yeah. So those are the other options. So unfortunately, I don't think NSF can, even if they wanted to, unless they register as a school. But I would assume local NSF math chapter volunteers would be more than happy to facilitate things for you. And you can reach out to us too, like, and we can try our help depending on the volume of questions we get.
Great, thank you. And then, will there be live AMC problems solved during this session? I guess not, right? I mean, you will have other.
No, because the AMCs are not even done yet. The first AMC 10, the first AMC will be AMC 10A this year, and that is on November 10th, and 10B is on November 16th. And like I said, we are hosting a live session like for the AMC 10A on 23rd and 24th of November, and 10B on 27th and 28th. So not
Great.
Today, because we don't have the questions yet. But our last year's AMC live solving sessions are all uploaded into the NSF YouTube channel.
YouTube, yeah.
So if you want to go back and look at the last year's ones, it's there.
Thank you. If we are online, do we take the test from home online?
Yes. It will be proctored like we did it last year because our kids did online school. Yeah, so the centers where you're registered and to take this, they will provide you on how to take it, and they will proctor you. You can take it from home, online.
Thank you. I think this question says, still last year AMC 8 qualifiers could appear in AMC 10. How would that work with this year's timeline? But I guess there's no qualification for appearing for AMC 10, right? Everybody can.
AMC 8 is an isolated standalone competition. You don't go anywhere from AMC 8. So if you look here, AMC 8, 8th graders and below can take it, but then it's a 1 week window. You can take it any day on that within that window. You're not allowed to talk about it once you have taken it until the window is closed. But it doesn't take you anywhere. It's the AMC 10 and AMC 12 that has multiple further levels of invitational math competitions like we talked about.
I guess, but anyone below 10th grader can appear for AMC 10, right away sign up and appear for AMC 10.
Correct. Even like a 4th grader, if they want to take the test, they can sign up. But yep. 11th or 12th grader cannot take AMC 10, they can only take AMC 12.
Right, thank you. If my child's school is not participating in AMC 10, can she give it through NSF? I guess we answered that already.
Yeah.
My son is in 5th grade and his elementary school is not participating in AMC 8. I guess this is about the locations that we already shared, right? How can we?
For our kids, they did take it. They regardless of what grade they're in, they have always taken competitions above their grade level. So the elementary may not be offering it, but if the middle school offers it, you just have to ask. And sometimes the elementary teachers may shut you down. They may not even be aware that the students can take it in the middle school. So, but if you talk to the middle school teacher who offers it, or the principals, or your gifted teachers, usually they are very receptive and very, they want these kids to do whatever they want in the US. So they're pretty accommodating. So talk to your middle school teachers and principals. Even if they're not offering now, they may be willing to offer. Or if they're offering already, it will be much easier for your elementary student to take it.
Yep, but actually I think some schools are a little bit restrictive in providing access. So like they allow MC8 to be taken by only their 8th graders or like their Mathcounts team members.
You have to ask why, right? If it's a matter of money, they don't want to pay for anyone else, then it's not that much. So if you want to, you can offer to pay for your own student.
I think it's somewhat also to do with them comparing with the other school districts other schools in the nearby school districts.
Really?
I think that's how like is in our daughter's school. So
see.
they restricted access to it. But then that's why these locations nearby are available where you can sign up. So when she was in 5th grade, I signed up like in location nearby in Pennsylvania. So there's nearby institutions that offer it. And now that AOPS is offering online, it is a very good venue that any kid, elementary kid who wants to participate, they can now do through AOPS or any other nearby location.
Right. But keep
But I
pushing,
think
and
it helps to ask.
just keep asking for what you want,
Yes.
like Mathcounts club or other math clubs. You just have to keep asking and make it. And you have to volunteer to get it started.
Do we need an MA account? I guess not, right? Because it's AOPS. Maybe they may need an account for AOPS who's administered.
If you're taking it through AOPS, yeah. Right. But there are, you have to read the MA guidance. I didn't go through the details. If you have a student who's going to take 2 exams, like say 10A and 12B, but at different institutions, say 10A at school and 12B online with AOP, something like that, you have to let MA know so that they want to do the best for the student. So if the student is invited for AME, then they want to know they want to tie the AME score for that student to the AMC 10 and 12 score for that particular student, even though the locations are different. So there are some protocols that you need to follow if you're taking at multiple different locations and you're invited to AME.
Yep, thanks. But I think for the like the third level, like for the AMO or USMO, I think they combine the scores for AME and AMC 10, I guess, right? For qualifying.
Right. I think they 10 times the AME score. So AME is I didn't talk about it. AME is a 15 question exam over 3 hours. So it's more intense. AMC 10 and 12 were 25 questions over 75 minutes, multiple choice. AME is invitational only, so not everybody gets to take AME. But it is a 3-hour exam, 15 questions, not multiple choice. Answers are all integers, and anywhere from 0 to 999, so 3-digit integers. It's a really fun exam.
Thanks. What does AME stand for? I think we already answered it. American Invitational
Mathematics
exam. Yeah. If an elementary grader can take MC8, are the questions customized for their respective grade, or they have to face the problems that are aimed for 8th syllabus?
So it's the same question for all test takers. They have 2 different sets for 10A and 10B. So 10A and 10B questions are, so if you're practicing from previous years, they're entirely different question set. But yes, elementary level student can take AMC 8, but it will be the same question paper for everybody, whether you're in 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, 4th grade, 2nd grade, it doesn't matter. But if you look at the questions from previous years, you'll see the first 10 questions are like so easy. So elementary students can easily take it. It's a 25 question multiple choice. And even if they score like 3 or 4, as long as you're improving, with your scores, with your, prep work at home and competitions the next year, that's all matters. So you're learning concepts, and certainly these will help with the SAT scores in high school as well. I mean, there's no question about that.
Yep, thank you. Can 8th grader register for AMC 8 and AMC 10 in the same year? Are they conducted on the same day?
Absolutely. They can do AMC 8, AMC 10, and AMC 12 if you wanted to.
So Vinay, we may want to ask anybody who wants to ask direct questions to raise their hands. We are getting to the 10 minutes. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So let's see if somebody raises hand. I'll try to unmute them. I mean, there's a few other questions, but I think mostly...
Yeah, if there are any other major repetitive questions, in the chat, you can address them too.
I think they asked to share the link for NSF. Is that, I think that's for the volunteering, right? I think if you look at the chat, Dr. Sripriya has shared the volunteer link there. And okay, I think that, can high schooler take Putnam?
I don't think so. I don't know much about Putnam, but I don't know. Maybe if they're
difference?
taking college level math, many high school kids do take college level math, but still within their school district. I'm not sure. Let me put it that way.
What is the difference between AMC 10A and B?
So 10A and 10B, there's really no difference. It's just offered on 2 different dates. And some people say that the 10B is more difficult than 10A, or 12B is more difficult than 12A. I'm not sure how true that is. But regardless of which one you take, the cutoffs vary too, because you know how they curve your scores in school tests. Like if it's a tougher paper, the cutoff is going to be lower. So you're compared with your the performance, you know, with others, how they did it as well. So it really doesn't matter. So it's the same for 10A and 10B. It's the same, but 2 different question sets.
All this info is great. Are you going to do a similar session for Mathcounts as well?
I wasn't planning to, but we would be happy to, because I was under the assumption that Mathcounts is more, people have more awareness about it, but we can do it.
I think the reason is all schools provide the Mathcounts, you know, information and clubs. So we haven't typically done that, but our coaching program really prepares people for Mathcounts competitions. So I don't think we intend to have an information session for it, because every state varies by date, and it's just a very standardized process. So there's nothing we can.
You can just Google Mathcounts and you will be able to find most of the information you need and ask your local school. I do know that Mathcounts you have to go through school though.
I will.
There's a few participants who had raised hands. Avadut, do you want to ask your question? Hello?
Yeah.
Avadut?
Yeah, I want to ask a question. The link that I saw, I don't know the link. Oh yeah, I found the link, sorry. And
Okay.
I just wanted to add, I just sent the question in chat. Is this a good resource for Putnam?
Okay, we'll take a look. I think we are covering AMC mostly this session. We will email you. If you email us at webinars@northsouth.org, we can answer if you have Putnam information as well.
You can get the Putnam information through the MAA website as well. I hope you can still see my screen.
Hi, Deepa. Please go ahead.
Hey, Sripriya, this is Deepa. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I was wondering, how does the Mathcounts compare to the AMC? Like, if you have a kid who's already preparing for Mathcounts, then does that kind of prepare them for I know the way to take it is all different and you have to go through different venues, but if you have a child who's already preparing for Mathcounts, does that kind of prepare them for AMC as well?
Absolutely. At least for AMC 8. Absolutely. You know, it is like sprint in Mathcounts, right? Like multiple choice, you know, several questions for 40 minutes. So it's pretty much like sprint. And it's a similar level, or sometimes it could be easier too, in my perspective, depending on what Mathcounts you're talking about. Like it might be at the chapter level Mathcounts, you know, it may not be as difficult as the national Mathcounts, AMC 8. So that's just my perspective, and every year it's different though. Yeah, but absolutely, the more competitions that this is just my personal opinion, the more exposed you are to competitions, the more benefit you get. As long as you don't focus on just the outcomes compared to others. You have to focus on the process, how you're preparing for it, you know, how you're enjoying it, and how you're progressing, you know. So yeah, so I would suggest, if you're interested in math or anything for that matter, the more you do, the better.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take the next question. Partha, can you ask your question? If you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hi, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
So my question is that we just happened to take AMC without much preparation for our daughter, Mathcount, Okay, math count. So I want to know how many times you can take math count, and is there a way to repeat the exam?
It's once a year,
It
right?
is once a year, and you cannot repeat it until you have to wait until the next year, and you have to be within the 8th grade level, 6th, 7th, and 8th for math counts.
Thank you.
So
Sangeeta, would you please go ahead with your question?
Hello, thank you for having this session. It has been very informative. The only thing is, for some reason, it doesn't show the link for the Google form at our end for in the chat. So we checked it and it doesn't show. Would it be possible to please post it again, either in the chat or send it as an email to the participants?
Yeah, we will include in our follow-up email to everyone. That's for the volunteer form you're asking, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we will.
And my son is a 7th grader, and would he, I mean, he's very excited and would love to be part of this. Would he be able to volunteer? Just a quick question.
Volunteer for the our group?
Yeah, is there any form of or any place where he could help out?
Yeah, yes, we do have like maybe 3 middle schoolers who are actually kids of the parents who are volunteering. Like my 8th grader, she really wanted to do it, and similarly, a couple of other 2 other parents whose kids are really motivated and want to do it. Allowed them to join. I am more personally, I'm biased, and I'm more interested in high schoolers and college students and parents, but we always make exceptions as long as they need guidance, right? Like the assumption is, the bias assumption is that the middle schoolers are not as mentally mature as high schoolers, but everybody is different. But if a parent volunteer can work with them and make sure their work is good enough, then yes, we want to.
Thank you.
Please send an email to us, and then we can follow up with you on that.
And where should we send the email to? Like which address? Just for the math?
You can send it to webinars@northsouth.org, and then we'll reply to you.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I put in the form again in chat. I don't know if that works.
I just shared again, but we'll also send in the follow-up email. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saujanya, can you please unmute and ask your question?
Yes. Hi. Thanks for your time, Sripriya. This is very helpful. This is Saujanya. My question is more of your personal experience. I don't know if you have this experience or not. My middle schooler, 6th grader, is bright, but she's somehow against competitive math. How much pushing is too much pushing?
Well, everybody has different perspectives, right? And if you talk to my kids, they may have totally different perspective. Like generally, every family, every kid is different. So, but what we have experienced with our kids is that unless you push, they don't even realize what they are passionate about. And you have to be careful how you're pushing, though. Again, if you are going to focus on the outcomes, that's where the struggle comes. Like, you know, either yourself or if the kid focuses on like, okay, did I come in top 10, or, you know, how did I perform compared to my friends or my peers? Then it may become an issue. Even if you are a, you know, very good, well achiever, it still can become an issue. Then you're limited by your outcomes. So yeah, so just keep trying. And if they don't like it, then at some point, if they like something else, math is not for everyone. But it's okay to push, I would say.
I think it's just not just math.
I think we have several questions in the chat as well. So
sure,
Krishnan, should we take those now, or?
I think we should, and then maybe allow only 2 more interactive questions, and then try to wrap it in 10 minutes. Thank you.
So first 2 more, and then I'll ask the rest of the questions, right? So Murthy, can you please unmute and ask your question?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Dr. Raman. Thank you so much. This is extremely informational. So, I mean, my question you partly answered regarding how to prepare for either of these exams, right? Is it a better choice to just get a list of the questions from the previous exams and then start going with the going through those, or are there like any other books or like join some kind of a, I mean, like NSF chapter?
That's the easy choice, and that's a must, I would say, like doing the previous year's questions. But there are a few high achieving students that I know who took AMC 10, 12, and AME without doing the previous year's questions, but they did very well. But usually most participants do that. And then there are books like Art of Problem Solving has several books.
Right.
And yeah, and there are other books too. But for us, the most important thing is also group, finding at least a few others that are of similar interest. You know, the kids really need their peers to work together. That is key. And as the kids got older, we struggled to find that. We still struggle. You know, my girls are in high school. It's very hard to keep them focused, even though they really want to do it. Especially for girls, that's something that, you know, I'm very passionate about. If you even, the MAA website has statistics as well, statistics and awards section. You can go and look. Even number of participants that are taking AMC 8 and 10 and 12. Girls are like 1 to 3 for AMC 8, 1 to 4 for AMC 10, 1 to 5 for AMC 12, girls versus boys. And the average score for girls is lower compared to boys. We are no way less smart compared to the other side, but somehow we have to bring our girls on board.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I wanted to add something here, Sripriya. In terms of preparation, right? Solving questions, yes, it will help you understand whether you're able to solve them or not. But taking a coaching session of some kind with somebody who can give you shortcuts and strategies, problem-solving strategies, will be helpful. So I would say a combination is what I would recommend, and it goes hand in hand. If you keep doing questions, then you should be fully prepared with all the basics and all the skills. Then you can improve your speed and stuff with the questions along. But learning with the questions, I'll be hesitant to say that.
Thank you, Krishnan. I think that's how like NSF coaching also helps probably. So when the middle schoolers and elementary schoolers, they can prepare themselves using the NSF coaching sessions, so people can sign up.
I completely agree, because somebody told me, you know, hard work doesn't pay, smart work pays. So like you have to really know what you're doing, and because we all have limited time, you have to make the best use of it. And we are planning to have so NSF coaching goes till like 8th grade, right? From what I understand. So we don't have at this time coaching for AMC 10 or 12. We only have the after life solving sessions. But if we have more volunteers, if you know other students, they don't have to be Indian origin students. If you know someone locally who wants to get some volunteer hours and experience and leadership, let us know. We can probably come up with an AMC 10, AMC 12 coaching as well. We are planning to have like an AME club, very short term, like 6 to 8 week AME club. I have 2 high achieving high schoolers who have done well in AME before, who has volunteered, but I'm looking for 2 more. It will be like a 6 or 8 week session, just concepts from previous year's questions. So we have a lot more to do to offer to our membership in terms of coaching, though. I would add that.
Thank you, Sripriya. I think that was Nikhil's question. Nikhil, I have unmuted you. Is that your question?
That should be the last question.
Okay.
Wrap here.
I think that was Nikhil's question. So let me just see the last question probably. Saujanya, you're unmuted if you want to ask your question.
I went actually. I asked the question. Thank you.
Oh, okay, then that's good. So then last question is, Nikhil, are you there?
Hi there.
Yeah.
That
was your
question. Thank you. Thank you for the session. It's very information. Like it's just one question about the NorthSouth Foundation. Are you guys doing any like AMC 8, AMC 10 competition? Like is there a competition or as such as a coaching? any sessions you're offering?
So we NorthSouth cannot register, to my understanding, and offer AMC 8, AMC 10, offer to conduct those competitions. But like I said, for coaching, we need more volunteers signed up. We are a group of 30 volunteers, but really 10 or 15 active volunteers. I think personally we are spread too thin with our current activities. So if we have more volunteers who are qualified to do the coaching session, we can start something later this year or next year at least.
Yeah, for now, I think the problem solving session is the best we can do to help the participants in NSF. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me see if there is a couple of any pointers for best resources for payment. Yeah, I think we already shared some of those, right? Like aops.com is one of the resources, and from there's several links from there as well. When NSF registration starting for fall, I think Krishnan, it's going to start soon, right? Coaching session.
Yeah, it should be within the next week or so.
They'll get an email.
Yeah. And coaching sessions start, I think, in the second week of October.
Great. So I think should we? What if your school doesn't register? I think we have already provided links to register in nearby locations, right? So any training before the AMC8 exam, I don't think we are offering any training specific to AMC8 as such. What options are there for high achiever 6th grade to volunteer with NSF? So again, please email us. You can email to webinars@northsouth.org. We can reply back to you. Thank you.
Or use a Google form so that it's all in one place. Yeah. Or even they email you, Vinay, you can share the Google form with them.
Yes. And in the follow-up email, we'll include a recording, the link to the recording for today's session, and as well as the volunteer form that Sripriya has shared. So those two we will include, and I'll try to include the handouts, the slides that Dr. Sripriya shared today. I'll try to include that as well in the email. So thank you all for attending, and thank you, Dr. Sripriya and Dr. Krishnan, for providing valuable information. I hope everybody found that information useful. And tomorrow we have a session by Dr. Chituri.
Tomorrow, it's next week.
Oh, sorry, next week. So next week, Sunday, we have a session by Dr. Chituri. Please sign up for that. And yeah, please look out for emails from webinars@NorthSouth, and you will find more information sessions like this.
Thank you, everyone. I would say we are also looking for parent and college level volunteers to guide our high schoolers and middle schoolers. We need at least 5 or 10 of them. So please consider volunteering yourself as well. Thank you for being here, and I hope our kids do much better with math and love it every time they do it.
Great. Thank you again, Dr. Sripriya, for your time, and Dr. Krishnan for hosting this session. Thank you.